Kind of going opposite of that. What's the most
Yeah.
rewarding part about being a pastor?
Oh, so that goes back to
yeah.
what I was going to say earlier.
Yeah.
Is you get a first-hand seat to the life transformation of people.
Bingo.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's the coolest thing because you're often the first person to see it.
Yeah.
And they're just incredibly rewarding times. It's the coolest thing when you've been walking with someone for a year and you've been sitting with them and meeting with them and praying for them and seeing how they're wrestling and they're struggling, and then all of a sudden it's like a switch goes off and they just kind of get it, or they take this ownership, whatever. Like it is just, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's worth the really relentless times that are really tiring. I would say also, like, walking with people in difficulty is, and walking with people through their grief and suffering only makes you grow closer to them. And so, there's something really special in seeing people in their most vulnerable moments, and you're vulnerable with them, and you empathize with them, and you cry with them. Like, there's a real beauty in that. Like, there's nothing that will really grow you closer than walking through a really painful time with someone. So, oddly rewarding.
Yeah, that's like my answer. Ditto.
Ditto.
Like,
Ditto.
Seriously, I think the only thing I might add to that is like when you can spend like a lot of time praying and asking God just to show up, and then you can step back and watch him like just show up like in someone's life.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's good.
Yeah, like when you get a random text from someone who you never thought you'd get a text from saying, "Hey, I was just reading my Bible and I heard God speak this way," and you're like, "You?"
So low key judgmental.
Yeah, it is you. But then also I'm like, yes, like you're the one I've been praying for. Like this is it. Like this is awesome. So
that's great.
Yeah. No judgment.
It's
more like satisfaction. But
that's neat.
It's also like this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because that was like how like the wealth of like I'd be rich being a doctor, but like I'd get to see people grow.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like a different realization. Like that's the kind of growth I want to see in my life, or like the wealth I want to see in my life, rather than being rich.
Because there's a richness in that.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just you're with people. You're present with people.
Yeah.
Like how much better can it be, right? To be with people. So it's cool.
All right.
Let's see. How do you balance being a pastor with your personal and family life?
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Woof.
This is a rough one, man.
Yeah, it's a really, really hard one. Because at 2 a.m. you're answering those texts or whatever. I mean, honestly, like I've had to really set up a lot of boundaries.
Yeah.
And I have to make sure to take Sabbath every Friday.
Yep.
Friday is a big deal. My phone's off or not on me, on my person. It's not in my pocket. It's not in my hand. On a lot of Fridays, it's plugged in, or I don't have my watch on because I have an Apple Watch, and I don't get pinged with notifications and stuff.
Yeah.
Like after we're done filming here, I'll go home, and my weekend starts Thursday night, and this is Thursday that we're filming. My weekend starts tonight. This is the most low-key night of the week for me. It's the most, I feel just really fully present with my family on Thursday nights, and so I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
So, a lot of it is just very intentional disconnection, at least for a day, a week, all day. And then we also limit the number of evenings that we're here to 2 nights a week. And we try to do as much as we can in 2 nights a week. And sometimes it doesn't happen like that, but otherwise it could be 7 nights a week. And so
it could literally be 24/7.
And I think people are actually generally really respectful of that. And because we work a job that like we revolve around other people's hours. And because we serve, we kind of have to figure that out and navigate that. And so we've just decided we're going to limit it to 2. So we're really strategic about what we do at night and the kinds of meetings that we have. But we really try to limit it to 2.
Yep.
That's my answer.
Yeah, I like that. And then I think for me too is just realizing like as like a husband, I realize like I'm like my wife's only husband. I'm like my wife. I'm my kids like only dad. And so like I want to be as present as I can for them, and so that's why like for me like working office hours, like I'm pretty focused, and so that like when I get home, like I can be home.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it too. And also like this might sound really harsh, but I've had to learn like to decipher what's like an emergency and what's not an emergency. Because typically when people call you or text you, for them like it's an emergency right then and there, and it may be like a little emergency. Hey, I'm going to the hospital right now. Okay, I'll be on my car. I'm going to meet you. Or, hey, like I'm thinking about suicide. I'm fully present. But sometimes I'll get a text. I'm like, hey, like I'm just going through. Like hey, I just need you to pray for me. Like okay, I'll pray for you, but I'll do it tomorrow morning, like in my prayer time.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm hanging out with like my kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see you, I hear you, but it's gonna happen tomorrow.
It's good.
So
Yeah.
because I want to be fully present, like with my family.
Yeah.
And make sure that like, I'm leading them well too. Because like if I'm not leading them well, I can't lead a church well.
No.
That's all there is to it. So
It's good.
yeah.
We're almost out of time. However, do you want to rapid fire ask one more question, and then I have something to wrap us up with?
Oh boy, yes.
Okay. One more question.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the one part of the job that people might not realize you guys do?
Oh man,
Oh dude.
I wrote something down in my notes. I've been in so many rooms with dead people.
Oh dude, yes. Yeah.
Welcome to horror.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's Halloween all the time.
Oh yeah, and you have to be good at so many things too. You have to
Yeah.
be good at speaking. You have to
Yep.
be good at conflict management.
Yep.
You have to be good at organization. You have to be good at delegation. You have to be good at recruitment of volunteers. You have to be good at handling crisis. You have to be good at like public speaking. Have I already said that?
Yeah, people management.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many
Yep.
things. But the one thing that people just don't realize is I have been in the room with a room with so many dead people with their eyes just open still,
Yeah.
and you're like, can someone shut their
weird.
eyes,
You did
please?
that.
Oh yeah, dead like under sheets on a living room floor, like and
What?
like
That's a crime scene.
oh man, yeah, you think, yeah. I really don't feel like I have a response to that.
Were there police in the room?
You've
at the
been
time?
around a lot of dead people?
I've been around a couple of dead people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of people die.
I've not actually been in a room where anybody's
Yeah.
ever actually died.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ever, family or not.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. And then even just like also like this the amount of like Matthew kind of said this earlier, just like the weird opinions people give you,
Oh yeah.
and just the weird things that like people will say to you that like they wouldn't like say to their dog, but for some reason it's fine to say to your pastor. So it's like just be ready for really weird comments.
Yeah.
Got
And
it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like I did not.
We call them chocolate covered turds,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it looks like they're going to say something nice, but what they're actually doing is they're like slapping you across the face while they're smiling.
Yeah.
And we call them chocolate covered turds.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, that looked nice from the outside.
Yeah.
It looked like a nice little morsel of chocolate, and it was not.
It was not.
And you also often they're walking away as you're kind of going,
Wait, what?
wait a minute. I think they just metaphorically slapped me,
Yeah.
and they didn't know how to do it, and I think I just got nailed. It's very confusing sometimes. Is that true for you?
Yeah, that's true. But I also think sometimes people have said things to me like I've had to bite my lip real hard because all I wanted to do was laugh like right in their face because it was just what you just said to me was so absurd.
Yeah.
And so not what I was expecting
It's true.
that I have to keep it together right now.
So good.
But I'm gonna go to my office real quick and grab something, which means I'm gonna go laugh my face off.
So good. This is good. Okay.